Hi, I'm author Kate Messner, and I want to share a brand new book with you today called Fergus and Zeke and the 100th Day of School. This is the latest book in the Fergus and Zeke series. Now, maybe you celebrate the 100th day of school at your school. Sometimes it's fun to make a collection of 100 things or try to do something like 100 times, like maybe jump rope or hop on one foot. And that's exactly what the kids in Miss Maxwell's class are doing when this story begins. Now, if you've read the other books in the Fergus and Zeke series, like Fergus and Zeke at the science fair, and Fergus and Zeke in the field day challenge, you know that these two classroom mice like to do everything the kids do. So it's no surprise that when the 100th day of school is approaching, they want to do a 100th day of school project too. This might be my favorite book in this series so far, and I want to read you a little bit from it. The chapter called A Story in 100 Words. The next morning, the class had writing workshop. Today, we will write stories to get ready for the 100th day of school, Miss Maxwell said. Each story should be exactly 100 words long. Fergus and Zeke loved stories. They couldn't wait for sharing time to see what the children wrote. Will's story was about a boy who had a pet dragon. One day, his dragon ran away. The boy had to search all over the kingdom to find him. Lucy's story was about a funny bear who couldn't find his shoes. He looked for them everywhere. At the end, it turned out he was wearing them the whole time. Emma stood up and read her story next. Once upon a time, there was an amazing astronaut named Emma. Fergus and Zeke sat on their wood chips and listened. The story was very exciting. Emma the astronaut got trapped in outer space. Her rocket was broken and she was all alone. At the end, she came up with a plan to get home just in time. The end, Emma read and closed her notebook. That was exactly 100 words, Fergus said. He had been keeping count. Zeke, we should write a 100-word story too. That could be our special project for the 100th day of school. Great idea, Zeke said. I will write the words and you can draw the pictures. It will be the best story ever. Fergus and Zeke gathered their writing and art supplies and set to work. Once upon a time, there was a mouse named Fergus, Zeke wrote. Fergus had a big problem. A terrible monster wanted to eat him for lunch. I do not think I like this story, said Fergus. Don't worry, said Zeke. It will all be okay in the end. But first, there has to be doom and disaster. He handed Fergus a pencil. Draw a picture of the terrible monster. Should I draw myself too? Fergus asked. Yes, Zeke said, running away and screaming. Fergus drew while Zeke wrote some more. Fergus ran away. He ran into the woods and up a mountain. On top of the mountain was a deep, dark cave. Fergus hid inside the cave, hoping he'd be safe from the monster there. Are you getting all of this, Fergus? Zeke asked. I'm trying, Fergus said. He was drawing as fast as he could. Then Fergus heard a noise. His whiskers trembled and his fur stood on end. Had the monster found him? Fergus turned on his flashlight and saw a whole family of hungry monsters. The biggest monster grabbed Fergus in its claws and... Fergus finished his drawing and looked up. And what? That's it, Zeke said. I am out of words. That is not a very good ending, Fergus said. 100 is not very many words, Zeke said. We could revise to make it shorter, Fergus suggested. Then we'd have room for a happy ending. Zeke shook his head. I'm tired of this story. We need a different idea. But tomorrow is the 100th day of school, Fergus said, as the class got ready to go home. We are out of time. Don't worry, Zeke said. We'll come up with something after everyone's gone. Are you sure? Fergus asked. Positive, Zeke promised. 100%. Do you think they'll come up with something? I'm going to let you read the rest of the book on your own to find out. You can pick up a copy at your favorite bookstore or ask for it at your library. And hey, why don't you see if you can write a story with exactly 100 words? Give it a try and see how that turns out. Now, schools all over the world celebrate the 100th day on all different dates, so there's no official date for that. But whenever you are celebrating, I wish you a very happy 100th day of school.